amid a simmering political crisis in Rajasthan with new twists and turns every hour since Sunday and an ongoing tiff between Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and his deputy Sachin Pilot, we are seeing new facets of this controversy every second. With me, I have DK Singh, the political editor of ThePrint, and you're watching Politically Correct. If there is anything about this that you don't understand, any curiosities, any questions, please feel free to shoot them at us. For starters, we are going to start this session by asking, is Sachin Pilot another power-hungry dynast, or is he a victim in this scenario?
See, he's a bit of both, or I would say he is a victim who is increasingly giving the impression of being power-hungry, or that's the overall perception is, especially from the Congress side. So let me explain both. I mean, when I say he's a victim, look, in 2014, when he was sent to Rajasthan as the PCC chief, that is Pradesh Congress Committee chief. So
right.
Basically to head the Rajasthan unit of the Congress. He must have got the impression that, he was being projected as Ashok Gehlot's successor. Because, Ashok Gehlot has been dominating Rajasthan politics for a long time. So in 2013, when Vasundhara Raje came to power, replacing Ashok Gehlot, Sachin was sent from here as PCC chief. And Gehlot was not really even brought to the center, and he was kind of sidelined at that time. Right. So Sachin must have got that impression, and you have to give it to him. For the next 4 years, he actually hit the road, holding demonstrations, agitations. He was all over. He actually galvanized the party. And then the Congress returned to power in December 2018.
Right.
Now, mind you, in 2017, Ashok Gehlot was brought to the center as AICC General Secretary. And Sachin must have got the impression again that, now that Gehlot has been brought to the center, probably the ground is being prepared for him to take over. So when the Congress won in December, and obviously he expected to be rewarded for his hard work on the ground, which didn't happen. Now, the Congress's logic then was that most of the MLAs are with Ashok Gehlot, and he has the numbers, and in this setup, you have to go with the MLAs.
Right.
So Ashok Gehlot has to be there. And besides, if you recall, Congress did not have those kinds of numbers. Congress had a very thin edge actually. Congress then only had 101. So any time, given the disruptions that is happening, that have been happening in politics in every state,
right.
The Congress was more, actually wary of handing over power to somebody who is new and who can probably not take all the MLAs along. That was one reason. Another reason, of course, which the party would never say, was, look, in the Congress, if Rahul Gandhi is not a prime ministerial candidate, and you are making a young person like Sachin Pilot, Sachin right now is just, 42 years old?
42.
So in 2018, he was just around 40.
Right.
You make him a chief minister, and he has this, national image.
Yeah. Okay.
He is late Raja Pilot's son. So you make him the chief minister, and he proves his mettle there. And then people will start talking about, okay, Rahul Gandhi is not working out, okay, let's have Sachin Pilot in Rajasthan. Or for that matter, Jyotiraj Scindia, then the Congress.
Right.
So these young stars, they were given some responsibilities, but the High Command was still not willing to project them as future faces, So you can blame it on the insecurity at 10 Janpath, or actually accept the Congress logic that, okay, Ashok Gehlot had the numbers. That's for one. So that was the first time Sachin Pilot had the reasons to feel victimized, in the sense that, okay, I did all the groundwork, and Gehlot has reaped the reward.
Yeah.
What has happened after that? He became deputy chief minister. Unlike Jyotiraj Scindia, who refused to become the deputy chief minister, Sachin decided to stay back in Jaipur. Mind you, Sachin's family stays in Delhi. From 2014 onwards, he has been staying in Jaipur, just working for the party.
Right.
And he worked really hard. So Jyotiraj Scindia, who was mostly spending time in Delhi, but he was still not ready to accept the deputy chief minister's post. Sachin did. Because again, the expectation was, okay, after a while, probably sometime on the midterm, he would get the chance. That must have been expectations. He went there. After that, Gehlot has systematically undermined him.
Okay.
Not that Sachin Pilot really helped his own cause, because he kept, making discordant noises. Gehlot would say something, Sachin would say something else. But as a matter of fact, he was really undermined, and on many occasions he was humiliated as deputy chief minister. Look, his funds will not be released. Now, he had 4 portfolios.
Right.
Like Public Works Department, Rural Development, Panchayati Raj institutions, and some other science and tech, I suppose. So you need funds to show your ministerial capability. Gehlot put a squeeze on those funds, what I am told. When it came to releasing the funds, his ministries would get it. Bureaucrats, again, pick and choose. Sachin could never have his way in picking up his own bureaucrats. Actually, at one of the meetings, when you had all the district collectors and police officers, some police officers from Rajasthan tell me, the chief secretary, everybody spoke. When the chief secretary asked Gehlot कि अब डिप्टी सीएम को बोलने के लिए कहें, अरे छोड़ो. It was for all to see.
It was an embarrassment for him. Yeah.
So incidents like that have kept happening over the past 1.5 years. He was really feeling suffocated, and matter came to a head after the police arrested 2 BJP leaders for trying to topple the government, and then sent notices, of course, to Gehlot. Gehlot basically holds
runs
the home portfolio also.
Right.
To Gehlot, to Sachin Pilot, and a few others. Congress leader Mahesh Joshi and others.
Right.
Obviously, you don't expect, because it was under Gehlot, so it was just a facade that he was also served a notice.
Right.
The idea was to corner him. And don't forget, even during the recent Raja Sabha polls, Gehlot kept saying that BJP is trying to, dislodge this government and conspiracy is on. So constantly hinting and trying to discredit Sachin Pilot,
Right.
suggesting that he is already talking with the BJP, which was not the case until then, at least. He was feeling suffocated, and that's how it has happened. So that's the victim part. Why I'm saying he's giving the impression of being power hungry is, look, if you go technically, forget about what was the real intent behind the Congress High Command's decision to put Gehlot back and not make Sachin Pilot the chief minister. See, a majority of families went with Gehlot. He had the number of families.
Right.
So obviously, he would be the CM candidate.
Yeah.
Unless High Command intervened, which it usually does in many states. Here, it did not. Because majority of MLAs are with Gehlot, so let him become the CM. That's when Sachin had to accept it.
Right.
Then he did lead the party for 4 years until the election victory.
Right.
And he still continues to be the party chief. But then, don't forget, Ashok Gehlot also, he was made Rajasthan Congress chief in 1985. And he became chief minister only in 98. So between those 13 years, he was not PCC chief for 13 years continuously, but he had I think 2 or 3 terms. But during that period, you had 3 Congress chief ministers. So Gehlot did not get the chance for those 13 years.
Right.
Or for the period whenever the Congress was in power. Gehlot got his chance in 1998. Sachin could have shown some patience.
So we have a lot of questions about that actually. Someone's asking, does Sachin Pilot realize that he is holding 2 powerful posts as he is the son of Rajesh Pilot? Secondly, why can't he have little patience and let Ashok Gehlot complete his 3 years? He will ruin his career if he doesn't U-turn and realize his folly.
That's what I'm saying. He could have waited. But then, in Rajasthan for the last 30 years, now every 5 years you have a change in government.
Right.
So probably Sachin thinks that if he waits for 3 more years, after that Congress loses, so he will have to wait for 8 more years at least.
Which is a lot.
That could be one reason.
Right.
Another reason as I have just mentioned, he was being pushed to the wall constantly.
Right.
This police notice was the last trigger.
Was the last straw. Yeah. There was this conversation during the Raja Sabha elections also when the party shifted a lot of its MLAs in a resort. Puneet Arora is asking us on Twitter, what happened during Raja Sabha elections? Were Sachin Pilot's plans foiled at that time by Gehlot?
No, I don't think Sachin Pilot was planning to disrupt anything.
That was just a fear that the Congress party had.
It was something that Ashok Gehlot's camp was actually trying to spread.
Okay.
Sachin Pilot was trying to defect or take some MLAs away or get them to vote for BJP candidates. If you look at the numbers in Raja Sabha elections, the two Congress candidates got 123.
Right.
So Congress today has 107 in the assembly. Then they got all the independents and some smaller parties which are supporting it. So it was total. There was not a single vote that did not come to them, except the two who were hospitalized then.
Right.
Like one CPM member. Anyway, CPM member was not supposed to vote. One of them voted, one didn't. One minister who was hospitalized. So numbers were there. This impression that Sachin tried to somehow, engineer defections among MLAs, that's not correct.
What does Gehlot stand to gain from all of this, though? Why would he not allow his deputy chief minister the kind of freedom that he wants? Isn't it just a sad
Not
word?
just now. Look, Gehlot has issues with Sachin continuing as the PCC chief
Right.
also. So in the government, he might have undermined Sachin Pilot because he is the chief minister. But Sachin Pilot continued to run the party. And as party chief, you have so much power that you can patronize people, you can build your own followers. What you have got, even 10, 12 MLAs or 13 MLAs who are with Sachin now, they are the people Sachin could push, whose candidature Sachin could push in the assembly elections, who got elected finally. So a Congress chief has a lot of powers.
Right.
So and he was a constant irritant because Gehlot could be the chief minister, but as party chief he was equally powerful in moving around and giving statements, and a big section of the Congress was also following him. So Gehlot wanted that irritant out, that's for sure. He wanted him to be replaced. And anyway, he has been holding that post for 6 years now. So he was going to be replaced. And Gehlot wanted to ensure that.
Yeah.
So that was the game then.
Right. Govind is asking us, did Sonia Gandhi want to cut Sachin Pilot and Jyotiraditya Scindia's wings so that there would be no competition or rebellion against Rahul Gandhi?
That's what many Congress leaders, not the family loyalists of course, many Congress leaders think like that. Because, if you wanted to build a second generation of leaders, you had Scindia in Madhya Pradesh, you had Sachin in Rajasthan.
Right.
Could have, and many people have been asking questions.
Many people
Why
draw
not?
parallels between Scindia and Pilot often. Do you see any merit in that comparison? Do you
There
think
are
it's a valid
parallels, of
comparison?
course, both in personal and political life. Look, their fathers have been both met a very tragic end.
Right.
In 2000 when Rajesh Pilot died, and I don't know how many people remember it now, the way it had happened, he was driving a jeep, and his pilot car, that's a security thing. Generally you have a pilot car basically leading you. He was a big leader. He was driving, so he wanted to basically overtake a truck. The pilot car actually managed to take to the left, and he could not. So there was a head-on collision, Rajesh Pilot died. It was a huge loss, to the family, of course, and to the party. In 2004 then, Sachin Pilot, I was there actually when Sachin, after filing nominations, he addressed a meeting, a public meeting. I was there, and in 2004, Sachin is, then he was about 27.
Yeah, very young.
26 actually. So he was just stammering, he was sounding very diffident, he was not able to speak. He has come a long way since then. But anyway, coming to the parallel, Scindia against Scindia's father, as you know, Madhava Scindia, died in a plane crash in 2001, I think. Yeah, in 2001, like just a year after Rajesh Pilot's death. But Scindia contested the by-polls and then became an MP. So both of them entered politics in tragic circumstances. As for their personal life, if you look at their background, educational background, both are Estefanians. One went to Wharton, another went to Stanford, to do their MBAs. Then they came back and just took a plunge into politics and became MP in no time. And after that, you look at their ascension in the party also. Not that they were denied opportunities by the Congress. See, Scindia became a minister of state in Manmohan Singh government in 2007.
Yeah.
Barely 5 years after becoming an MP or after entering politics.
Which is very rare, which doesn't
Sachin
happen.
Pilot became a minister of state in 2009. And both of them were promoted and given independent charge of ministries in 2012.
Wow.
So party did take care of them. Within the party also, say in 2013 Madhya Pradesh assembly election, Scindia was made a campaign committee chief. So generally PCC chiefs, campaign committee chiefs, they become contenders for the chief ministerial posts. But of course, India got just a few weeks then, because his appointment happened just about 2-3 months before the assembly election, which Congress eventually lost. In 2018, again, Kamal Nath was sent as party chief. It was very clear he was the candidate. But Scindia must have been hoping then also. We know what happened finally.
Yeah.
So there comes the parallel. They're right from educational background to the tragic deaths of their fathers, to their ascension in politics, the way they rose. And the way they were actually nurtured by the Congress leadership. But yeah, the Congress High Command was not ready to put them right up as chief ministers.
Do you think they were being impatient though? Do you think they could have waited longer? Both.
They should have waited. Both of them should have waited.
Right.
Because in both cases, what happened with Kamal Nath, I can give you one anecdote. When Kamal Nath was being appointed Congress chief and Rahul Gandhi was holding consultations, so Kamal Nath, Digvijay Singh and Jyotiraj Scindia were there with Rahul Gandhi, and then Digvijay Singh actually put his foot down. Okay, look, Kamal is going to be, he's 70, he doesn't have much time left in politics. So give him, it's his last chance, make him the PCC chief and then the chief minister. And Jyotirajit is talented and he has a long way to go, he can wait. And Rahul Gandhi actually did that finally, made Kamal Nath the PCC chief and later the chief minister. In Sachin Pilot's case also, see, today Gehlot is 69. So probably by the time his term is over, that is if he survives for the next 3.5 years, he'll be about 72, 73. And obviously Congress would be looking beyond him. It's already looking beyond him. But then Sachin Pilot would be a legitimate heir in the sense that he would be undisputed successor of Gehlot then.
Yeah, true.
If he were to stay back in the party.
Right. What does he stand to
But
gain?
why they're losing patience? There is another story in it. They're losing patience not because of their own careers, but because they don't see much prospect of the Congress itself. 2024 or anyway, I know for sure they're very unhappy with the way the Congress is running politics, especially Rahul Gandhi, this total stasis that you see the party in. They don't see the party moving forward.
Right.
That unhappiness somehow gets into you sometime and feeds your impatience this way.
Okay. Now, if Pilot were to side with BJP, Shankar is asking us this question. If Pilot were to side with BJP, does he stand a better chance to become chief minister in the next assembly elections? And if he doesn't get the 30 MLAs, will the coup be a political suicide for him?
Come to the first coup, will he be the chief ministerial candidate? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm not even sure about Scindia in Madhya Pradesh. Because in both the states, BJP is building up its alternative leadership. They are looking beyond Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh. They are looking beyond Vasundhara Raje in Rajasthan. Now, Vasundhara has been completely sidelined. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, because he could pull off this latest thing by toppling Kamal Nath.
Right.
I mean, he has been able to become the chief minister, although with very minor portfolios if you look at it. He's totally undermined. Home is not with him. Finance is not with him.
Yeah.
Health is with Scindia's loyalist. So Shivraj Singh Chauhan has not been really given any
Stature of that sort.
stature. He has a stature as chief minister, but not the kind of portfolio you would expect the chief minister to have.
Right.
So signal is very clear. You continue as long as you can, and then somebody else will come, and there are many. Now, right now, the BJP High Command is nurturing Narottam Mishra. He's a very powerful minister, almost second to Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He has got home, he has got law, parliamentary affairs, a very powerful minister who has the backing of the BJP High Command also. So that's about Madhya Pradesh.
Right.
In Rajasthan, now they are looking beyond Vasundhara Raje. So now you see Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, who is our Jal Mantri here, what they call. Now, BJP High Command wanted to make him the BJP chief when Vasundhara Raje was the chief minister. She put her foot down and they had to relent. So they brought him here. He is being projected as a possible successor. And there are many others in the queue. So for Scindia or for Pilot to get to that position by 2023 looks a very remote possibility. And if you look around, except really Saban and Sonawal, who was in AGP and then shifted to the BJP, all the chief ministers, at least Narendra Modi and Amit Shah have gone for, are hardcore, Sangh loyalists who have spent a lot of time in the party, they have spent decades in the party, and only then they basically earn those rewards.
Right.
So it's not that you just enter the party and get something. If you look at many of the turncoats since 2014, people who left their parent parties and joined the BJP, I mean, gradually they are losing their relevance. I mean, I can just name a few. If you look at Sanjay Singh, for instance, Sanjay Singh was a Raja Sabha MP. He joined the BJP, hoping that, okay, now he'll get the Raja Sabha berth under the BJP quota. He's nowhere now. He has not got anything. Sindhia again. Sindhia's ministers have got very hefty portfolio in Madhya Pradesh. And he's expected to join the government at the center, but it has been 4 months he has been waiting. And let's see how he is accommodated. He is likely to be accommodated, but his chief ministerial ambitions, I'm not sure whether BJP is there to fulfill that.
Right.
But we'll see that. On that, jury is out. Look at, say, Rita Bogana Joshi, for instance. She was a UP Congress chief. Then she became an MLA. She joined the BJP. She became a minister in Yogi Adityanath government. But then she was asked to contest the Lok Sabha elections. She has been brought here to Delhi. She is a BJP MP now. She has got nothing.
Yeah.
Virendra Chaudhary from Haryana.
Right.
He left the Congress to join the BJP. He remained a minister as long as he was relevant, as long as Jat politics was relevant for the BJP. But now he has been dumped. His son is, of course, an MP, but he's nowhere now.
So then is this potential political suicide?
So I'm thinking, I won't say political suicide. Probably BJP will start looking at things differently.
Right.
And if they prove their loyalty, after a point of time, probably you are treated as one of their own.
Right. So what can be a potential solution for the Congress party out of this? Dhiru is asking us, will bringing Sachin Pilot to Delhi and making him vice president of the AICC do any good?
Vice president of the AICC? No. First of all, they're not going to have a vice president. And secondly, as long as the Gandhi family is there, vice president means nothing.
Right.
So you had Arjun Singh was the vice president once during Rajiv Gandhi's time, but Arjun Singh had a very tall stature.
Right.
Here, first of all, Gandhi family would not bring you here. Even if you are brought here, you'll have no stature with under the shadow of the Gandhi family.
Yeah.
And besides, it's a very remote possibility. What Sachin wants is to become the chief minister,
Right.
which is not going to be fulfilled.
It's not going to be fulfilled. Finally, Ravi is asking us, what kind of message will the outcome of this situation give to the new guard or the younger leaders in Congress?
Well, optics is very bad. It's not just the new guard and younger leaders. See, this conflict between young Turks, old guards, this has been on. In fact, it reflects very poorly on the leadership of the Congress, or rather the absence of it. Now, what you see Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, everybody of the Gandhi family basically busy in self-preservation, while everybody is fighting. They saw what happened with Sindhia. Now, Sindhia was kind of number 2 in the Congress after the Gandhi family.
Yeah.
He might not have been the chief minister, but his stature in the Congress was very big. If he left your party, you could see similar things could happen with other leaders who see they have the potential, who think they have the potential, and who are being denied their rightful places. Now, Sachin Pilot could have been naturally the second one. They could have seen it coming, and the Congress High Command could have intervened and somehow tried to bring some kind of rapprochement between the chief minister and deputy chief minister.
Yeah.
But the High Command actually turned the head away. They turned the eye away, and while everything was happening, every day they were fighting. They turned away from Rajasthan, saying, okay, nothing is happening, I'm not seeing anything. You guys sort out. And now this has happened. And suddenly you see Congress leaders tell you, Rahul Gandhi is calling Sachin.
Priyanka is calling.
Gandhi, everybody is trying to call him, and he is not ready to settle down.
Do you think it's too late then for the party to be
I don't know,
reaching out
because
right
look, Sachin Pilot, for all you have seen, he has left his option open to basically remain in the party. He has not made any provocative statement so far. The only statement on the record that you are hearing is Sachin Pilot saying, I'm not going to join the BJP.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything is told by his camp, his media advisor, something which he can basically dismiss later.
Yeah.
So, Pilot has not foreclosed his options. But only Gehlot is pushing very hard now. Now, as we speak, there is this Congress legislature party meeting happening in Jaipur.
Right.
And there we are hearing what they had done the day before. Today also they are going to pass a resolution demanding action against leaders who are basically trying to harm the interest of the party. So basically suggesting that disciplinary action could be initiated against Sachin Pilot and his loyalists.
Yeah.
Now if they push it this way, then there may soon be a point of no return for Sachin Pilot. But he is falling into Gehlot's trap, I would say.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you so much for joining this episode of Politically Correct. We at The Print have been tracking the Rajasthan crisis. Do follow our news reports for the same. Thank you.